Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime back at it again for another one of these Marvel Legends top 10 ranking videos of the year. And I should at least mention this in advance for some people. I'm not a big Marvel Legends collector, so a lot of my choice picks are going to be kind of oddball or whatnot. Like, I'm not a super hardcore Marvel Legends collector, so there will also be some figures in this list that I just never bothered to buy or own that everyone says is great or awesome or don't be too mad if there's figures that are on this list that are, ones that you have on your list. And also on top of that, because I'm not a hardcore Marvel Legends collector, a lot of my picks in here are actually older figures, or some of them are kind of oddball picks, but these are all figures that I personally bought in 2024 that I was happy to purchase. And also on that note, I don't really have any honorable mentions. I mean, I guess you could bring up those comic edition Transformers because they're comic versions of characters from the Marvel comic books, but I'm not really going to count those, but I'll at least mention them here, I guess. But anyway, getting into number 10. Again, this is a figure I bought in 2024, not a new release that came out in 2024. This is the Marvel Legends Deathlock, the original one, not the X-Force one. This is the one with the red outfit. I personally like this Marvel Legends, and he just ended up at number 10 because I just liked a bunch of other Marvel Legends, but I did want to at least mention him here because, again, I did pick him up this year, and I was happy to finally get this character. I think he's very underrated. Now getting in at number 9. Now this guy ended up on the list because I actually genuinely liked this figure, but I also loved the experience in getting him. I picked up this Marvel Legends for $2.50 this year. This was the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Nova. He just randomly showed up at this one local discount store for only $2.50, and it was some of the best $2 I've ever spent because this figure is really good. I like the amount of accessories he came with, the packaging was great, the figure himself is also really well done, and at least I know who Nova is, and, not these random Walgreens exclusives of characters I have no idea who they are. But overall, I was really happy with this purchase and this overall figure release. Now again, this figure is not a brand new 2024 release, but it ended up at number 8 because this year was the year of Deadpool, and a friend of mine sold me his Deadpool. We traded around figures, and I finally got my first Marvel Legends Deadpool. I'm not really into the X-Force one that they did on the retro card. It's not the figure himself, it's the color scheme on him, and I prefer the more dark black and red on this figure. Even though the posability and some of the accessories are not as on par, I'm still happy to just finally have any Marvel Legends Deadpool in my collection, and he goes very well with my Wolverine. Again, especially with the whole Deadpool and Wolverine this year, it's a good thing that I have both a Deadpool and, spoilers, a Wolverine on my top 10 this year. And now getting in at number 7, we have the Marvel Legends Werewolf by Night MCU Man-Thing. I'm really happy to finally have a Man-Thing in my collection because that original Build-A-Figure goes for astronomical prices on the aftermarket, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm really glad that they... it's funny that Werewolf by Night, the namesake of the short film, did not even get a Marvel Legends yet. It's the guest star who did get a Marvel Legends first. That cracks me up, but I really like this figure, again, and I just really love the sculpt and the molding, but I didn't like him enough that he ended up higher on the list, but again, he still is in my top 10. Kind of similar to the Man-Thing figure, this is a reissue of a figure that came out earlier this year, and I purchased it in 2024, but it's not an original 2024 release, the reissue is. But I finally managed to get my hands on the Marvel Legends Silver Surfer. I immediately, as the reissue pre-order went up, I immediately ordered it because I love Silver Surfer, and he's not like my favorite Marvel character, but he is a very prominent Marvel character that I wanted to make sure I had one in my collection. And again, this figure absolutely slaps. I love the blast effects, and I love the silver paint here, and I love the surfboard accessory, and I was just satisfied to finally get a Silver Surfer in my collection without having to pay these galaxy-wide prices that people freaking charge for on eBay and such. Now, this guy is kind of similar to one of the Marvel Legends I featured on last year's list. Last year, I finally managed to finish the Lizard Build-A-Figure, even though I'd been trying to build that over the course of the couple years. 2023 was the year that I actually managed to finish the Lizard, and so I put it in my top 10 because that was the year I finished it. Similar situation with this figure as well. I finally got the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure from a couple years back, and I'm super happy I was finally able to finish this guy off. I love Super Skrull. He's my favorite of the Skrulls, and I just love the idea of a supervillain with multiple powers, and just, I've always been fascinated with his character, and so I'm finally glad that I was able to get this Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure, because it was an absolute chore to really track this thing down and get it complete. And now coming in at number 4, we have the again, this is similar to the Silver Surfer. It's a reissue of an older figure, but I got it this year. Really mad I missed out on the original Target release, but randomly, earlier this year, Target randomly just started getting the Red Hulk figure back in stock again, and like, no official announcement from Hasbro or anything, it just showed up. And so I went to a Target and managed to get my hands on one before a lot of other people did, and I'm just happy to finally have a Red Hulk in my collection. That's not the MCU one. But overall, I really like this release. I always love Hulk, but I've always had a fascination with Red Hulk even more, and just, you know, I can see this figure already going up for more pricings on the aftermarket, especially with the Captain America Brave New World movie coming out soon. Also, I should mention, not everyone on this list I've done reviews on, but I plan to do reviews on at some point. But anyway, coming in at number 3, we have the Marvel Legends Wolverine, the 85th anniversary one. Again, this is a figure I really want to review, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But this figure is really, really awesome. I had to get at least one Wolverine for the Wolverine anniversary this year, and the 85th anniversary one is really, really nice. I love this figure. I love it a lot more than X-Men 97 one. I like the aesthetic of this one. The claws, the accessories, the scaling, the color scheme. And again, this Wolverine goes really well with my Deadpool on the shelf. Again, it's not Deadpool and Wolverine from the movie, but it is nice to have a Deadpool and Wolverine standing next to each other on the shelf. Like I said, I'm not a super hardcore Marvel Legends collector like some people are. Anyway, getting in at number 2, it is the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider with his motorcycle. Ghost Rider is one of my favorite Marvel characters from the comics in general, and I would love to see a new live-action interpretation of him in the future. And Danny Ketch is definitely one of the best versions of Ghost Rider we've ever had. I love his comic books, and I just love this figure. His motorcycle isn't my favorite Ghost Rider motorcycle, but I do still love this motorcycle that they've made. I love the blast effects, and again, just Ghost Rider himself looks amazing. I feel like the head sculpt, even though it's reused from Johnny Blaze, they updated it enough to where it feels different and has these nice differences that update it very well. And again, the new body mold is also really nice with all the spikes and everything, and I just overall am really satisfied with this release of one of my favorite Marvel characters. But number 1 is another Marvel character that I really, really love, and I feel like a lot of people kind of didn't really give this figure as much love as it should have gotten. It kind of got a little bit of love from the Transformers community, but this is the Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Death's Head. I am very, very happy that they finally made Death's Head in a giant 6-inch scale, not that 3 3/4 inch one we got many years ago. I am so happy with this figure because I love his new Marvel Comics outfit as opposed to the old Marvel Comics one from the UK comics. But again, that's just a personal preference. But I also love the packaging and how it reminds me of those old Marvel trading cards. And then as well, again, this guy in 6-inch scale scales with Transformers. This guy originated from the Transformers Marvel comic books, and I love his character in both the Transformers Marvel comics and also the Marvel comic books. And so I'm just really happy to finally have a Marvel Legends Death's Head in his more original looking design, because this guy has been on my list of highly requested Marvel Legends for the longest time. And heck, even in my 2023 ranking video from last year, I even mentioned I wanted a new Death's Head, and here he is. And yeah, I'm just really satisfied with him. And again, you can go and check out his review on my channel. And that is basically it for this video. If you guys liked it, give me a like on the video. Comment below what you guys think and what your top 10 was of this year. And I will definitely catch you guys next time.